We've got three teenagers in the house, and they're just moving into dating or date-like engagements with people. I have a lot of confidence in them, but I'm curious from your kind of tantric point of view that you guys are bringing in, what kind of advice do you give people on their very first dates? People who have no history of sexuality and relationships to build off of, who are coming into it for the very first time.
I wrote a book and I do a monthly workshop called Tantric Dating, which is helping people meet each other with love and awareness. And the main thing is to cultivate this quality of friendship. Because, for example, I'll do this exercise. Well, I'll have them look around, and they have all their judgments on about who they would swipe left and who they would swipe right on, left and right. And then we go around and they do some exercises where they talk to people, and then I go, now look around the room. Don't these people look more attractive to you? And they're all like, yes. Everybody looks wildly more attractive when you get to know them. So I think that this is one of my main messages for daters is it's what we did at the ashram was we developed friendships first and then decided whether or not a sexual relationship would make sense. Because only if you're in a relationship, a friendship where there's some trust there, is it going to be good anyway. So I would say challenge that idea that the friend zone is not where you want to be and say, actually, it's where I want to be. I want to make love with my best friend. That's where the great sex is.
And what I'm going to say is highly influenced by Catherine's book, Tantric Dating. But it is that we have created an environment where dating is a very negative experience, and we're trying to disqualify the person in front of us. So what are we doing? We're looking for the negatives. And then we wonder why we go home and think, God, that was exhausting. It felt terrible. Well, what are you doing? You're looking for what's negative the entire time instead of realizing that I may never see this person again. That's fine. But for the 30 to 60 minutes I'm sitting here with them, can't I try to find something that's good about them and try to enjoy my time with them in some way, shape, or form? And that really kind of rocked my world at the time. And I started interacting with people differently based on just that concept she put forth for dating. But a teenager would probably laugh you out of the room if you said that to them. But I think it's a seed that should be planted for them, absolutely. That there are a lot of people who are looking at other people negatively all the time rather than trying to find out what's good about them. And that can be people you're dating, and that doesn't mean you're going to fall in love and get married. Doesn't even mean there's going to be a second date. But why not make that into an experience that's more pleasant for yourself and have, I'm very big on internal representations. Why are you carrying around internal representation of someone that's negative? It might seem like that's the logical thing to do, but it doesn't feel good inside of you.
This might sound very strange, as if everything we're talking about doesn't sound really strange, but when I was dating, I had this experience at the ashram, and in the tantric worldview, everything is sacred. Every moment is perfect, and I can't see that because of my conditioning or my personality, or I've been taught to see it as this way or that way. But I trust, because I've had mystical experiences where I experienced the perfection of this present moment. So even though I don't live in that moment to moment, because I'm just the same as everyone else, I'm like, oh, it's too hot in here, and I wish that person would be nice, or whatever, my busy mind. But I've had a mystical experience where was shown that I did experience that everything's perfect. So I was trying to take that into dating, and I would be like, I'll be on some coffee date with some guy off the internet. I'd be like, this is perfect. This person's perfect. This is my chance for perfect love in this moment. I don't have any other chance. There's no other guy here. This is my chance for perfect love in this moment. I would try to hold that tantric position. And sometimes it was challenging, mostly because I was in my own way of being able to experience love in this person. Why? Because of how they look, because of their shoes. I mean, this is really severely flawed dating thinking, because the more loving I can be in this moment, the more I'm going to attract love. So I would use it as a spiritual discipline to say, if I'm really living my tantric principles, this person's perfect right now. Look how I've been taught to see that they're not. I'm just going to try to experience with this person's perfection in this moment. And then at the end of it, go home. Most dates don't work out, but it's part of my spiritual growth to experience this perfection of this moment on this date. And this is my meditation in this moment, is to be in this place, understanding its perfection. These poor guys had no idea this was what was going on, but for me, it was developing myself to be a more loving person, to be able to attract a higher frequency of love. Because what the conventional dating world is doing is it's trying to attract love by being unloving. It's like, oh, I don't like how you look. I couldn't love someone like you. I don't. I'm super judgmental. I'm going to go home from this date and tell my girlfriends, oh my God, this guy was so awful. And it's all this thing, you know, and it's about status and who you can, who's going to look good on your arm. And it has nothing to do with, hey, we're going to have great sex if we're friends. I just want to see if on this date, not how hot you are, because how hot you are to a tantric person, everybody's hot. We're attracted to everyone. So it's like, it's not really about how hot you are. It's about, can I relax with you on the couch and just hang out? Because, and then maybe that'll turn into lovemaking because we're so comfortable and it's just so great. So it's a whole different way I think you can help teenagers or anyone who's single to just say, hey, this is an opportunity to practice love so that you can find love. This is not an opportunity to practice how judgmental you can be, because that's not going to lead to love. But the conventional dating world is about continue to develop yourself as a judgmental person in a very mean and cruel manner, and to be very mean and cruel to very nice people because they don't look a certain way or they're not cool in their actions. So by developing this ability to be meaner and meaner and meaner, we get further and further away from love or being able to see the perfection of this moment, which I know to be true.